Hey guys, Ivan here for the Frozen Card Gaming channel, and today I'm here with Jack Verma, who got top 128 with Tearlaments, or well, Danger Tearlaments at the European Championship. So, Jack, can you please tell us how the event went for you? And yeah, let's go from there.
Hello, guys. The event went really well in the end. I started with X2 1-2. So at the beginning it was kind of weird and difficult, but I kept winning. So yeah, and I ended up top 128. So it's okay.
Yeah, and congratulations for that. That's a great success considering that we're back to events after a long period of COVID. We haven't had events in a while, and you did it with a very interesting deck, as we can see here. So, could you give us some thought process on why you picked this deck and behind some choices you made in this deck?
So I played Tearlaments with Dangerous and Adventure Engine. I decided this over, for example, Splight because I think it's like more powerful and it's better to board breaker cards like Dark Ruler or Super Poly. And I just thought it's the stronger deck than Splight, and I didn't see a reason to play another deck than Tearlament. I decided for the Adventure Engine since there was like I was very afraid of Shifted Dweller and Barrier, so I wanted an engine that plays through all of the three cards, and this engine was perfect the entire weekend. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we can go right into the deck profile. So you played how many? 12 dangers. So could you explain, like, well, I know that these Nessie and Tsuchinoko and Jackalope and Mothman as well are pretty standard, but why did
hmm
you choose to extend the danger engine and play the other ones?
I think you need more to get more like bodies on field or going second against Blight, for example. You get like big bodies to run over their negates, and the Bigfoots and Thunderbirds are really good with Super Poly or after siding with Twin. And yeah, I know going first they're kind of weird if they hit it, but I think it's worth playing them.
And yeah, obviously the snow. The snow is just a standard broken card. I don't think this card should have ever been unbanned. But the Gizmic is very interesting. I don't think a lot of people, actually, a fair amount of people played Gizmic. But what made you decide on this card? What really put you to play this card?
I think Gizmic is like a really good pressure card. Even going first or second, going first, it's just an extender for every turn, or like if you want to trigger Zeroboros or Bomber. And going second, it's like also really good in the mirror or against Blight. If you trigger it in the end phase, you just get like a body to run over something, or you get a pop that baits in a gate. So I ended level 8 if you want to play Dingirsu. I didn't, but yeah, that's an option. So I think the card was really good, and also for the grind games against Blight, they have to deal with it every turn. So yeah, it's I even considered playing 3, but I didn't want to play more cards, so 2 was fine.
Yeah, that makes sense. And we get to the tier element ratios. You played a lot of tier elements. Like you played 3 field spell, you played every single name at 3 as well. I saw that some people were like playing 2 Rhino Heart or 1 Rhino Heart or like maybe like 1 or 2 field spells, but you played 4 with terraforming. I didn't even notice that. And then you also played a lot of traps for the tier elements. So could you explain to us like what was the logic behind playing so many tier element names and tier element cards in general?
I mean, I think it's standard to play like all the fusion guys 3 times, so like 3 Halfness, 3 Shaylin, 3 Meru. And many people only play 1 or 2 Rhino, what is not correct in my opinion, since 1 doesn't make sense, because if you trigger it in a graveyard to summon, it gets banished and you never get it again in the grind game. And I think Kaleido Heart is such an insane card, so I always want to have access. And the Rhino Heart is also really good with the Brave engine, since you can send it with Fateful and trigger it, and it's just too powerful, in my opinion. So you have to play at least 2, but I think 3 is the best way. And not everyone is playing 3 field spells, which is like, I don't know. I don't know what the people are thinking, but this card makes like so much pressure. It gives you like an edge and pop and boost in the mirror match, for example, which is important to run over their fusion monsters. And yeah, against back row decks, your matchups get better with the field spell. So I think 3 field spells are necessary, and at least 2 items are necessary to yeah.
Yeah, okay, I can definitely see that. I think it makes a lot of sense. It just was like there was a lot of people playing lesser ratios, and I also found it weird. But yeah, I think these cards are very, very strong, and especially the field spell just gives a lot of pressure. So
Yeah,
the
but the main
Brave.
reason,
Mm-hmm. Go
the
ahead.
main reason is just like Kaleido Heart. I always want to try to summon a Kaleido Heart with the trap because like it's like so many. You get so many advantage of the combination of Kaleido Heart and the trap, and yeah, that was another main reason.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So we already went over the Brave engine and why you played it, but an interesting choice you made was playing Illegal Knight. So I'm guessing this was because of Curious, but you can go more into it.
Yeah, like Illegal Knight gets better because of Furious. It's dark, and you just summon it as an extender. But it's like also good going first or second. If you get, for example, Dweller or get only Floodgate cards like Shifty that you can just break their board through their unfair cards, you know. And it helps playing through Dark Ruler. Sometimes you just don't summon the Griffin or the Illegal Knight, keep it in hand and wait when to use it, you know, so you can't get like Dark Roulette and the interruptions away. And this, I mainly went on Griffin first turn for the Omni Negate, but like the League Knight was also really good, like in the grind game when the Griffin was in the graveyard, for example. I milled one target that I have another target in the deck, you know. And it's just there for clearing boards and back rows, for example. So yeah.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. So, on to the spells. I don't think we have to say much about Foolish, Instant Fusion, and Terraforming. These are all insanely broken spells in the deck. But I guess we can touch upon Dark Ruler and Super Poly since you chose to play Board Breakers even though your deck overall is like 52 cards. So, could you go over like the reasoning why, even though you were playing a high deck count, you decided to put these cards into your deck?
I mean, if you play the adventure engine, you have to add like 10 cards or something, around 10 cards. And so you have to go over 40. And the board breakers are just too insane this format, so you have to play it. Especially Super Poly is like the best board breaker card right now. Especially when you have like when you can play the Super Poly targets in the main extra deck. Um, and yeah, Dark Ruler's just like the second best board breaker spell. So I wanted to have them in the main, besides like my Brave engine, which is good going second, and Dangerous, which is good going second. So I have a good balance between first and second in the deck.
And did you like the ratios, or would you add or change something down the line? Anything in the deck that you would change or add something that maybe you didn't play?
I would. You mean like the board breakers, or
Overall in the whole deck.
uh, I think I would cut the meta noise, since it's like only really good going first if you add it or draw it. It's bad if you mill it. I would maybe play a mine out in the main, but I have like the Draco back, but it's not a guaranteed out, since you sometimes discard it and equip and play, clear your token, so you lose your Draco back. So maybe I would play a Galaxy Cyclone, but it really depends how the meta changes, how many people playing mine. But yeah, that's something you can consider, yeah. But the stuff, I don't think I would really change anything. The deck went really well, so I was happy with the main deck overall.
Okay, yeah, that's really nice to see. So going into the extra deck, I think the fusions are very, very standard. I don't think there is anything to add here. All of these seem normal, unless you think that there's something special about these, but all of these seem normal.
I mean, you can play one Kitka lost, but sometimes you need the second one. And in this build, you have like space in the extra deck. So I just kept it in the second one just in case. And maybe there it can come up in some scenarios if like your first hit loss get impermed and you summon your second one for the reborn effect or for the mills. So it come up, but you can cut it if you need it.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. And I think you chose to play a heavy Xyz engine. I think most people were just playing Redoer and Dweller or like Redoer and Dagaris, but you chose to play all four of them. So could you go into like some reasoning why you decided that playing all four of them was correct?
So Dweller and Redor are like, yeah, a must have in the stack, but Togaris is good after siding or with weird hands if you like need to draw stuff, or like for the OTK if you want to double your big monster and attack for game. But like you don't really need Bagushka and Togaris, they are just like situational exceeds, And the reason behind Bagushka is if you get, for example, Shifter or something against Blight, that you just summon a rank 4 and doesn't lose to Shifter directly, so you have like an interruption on the field, so the opponent can't play too. But
Yeah.
I think I would cut Dogaris in the end for like Cereboros. So I'm playing Bomber over Cereboros, but I think you have to play two because sometimes you need Cerebro, sometimes it's better to summon Bomber. Both are really, really good in the stack, especially with Snow or Gizmic or Havnis. So I would definitely cut the Garrus or Bagushka if I don't cut both to play Cerebros and maybe the Griffin in the side deck in the main extra deck to have more side deck space. But yeah, the extra deck was solid, so I didn't really miss something except like the Cerebros sometimes. But Bomber was fine too.
Yeah, I mean the extra deck. I guess we don't even have to touch upon the links. They're all really standard, and you should be
Yeah,
playing all of them. But yeah, definitely that was one thing that I was gonna mention. That I would also play Zerboros in this deck. Zerboros just seems really broken with Snow and Gizmic. Just gets really, really, really big really fast. Also,
Well,
another question.
yeah.
Okay, in the main deck, did you ever consider playing Pot of Desires?
I did at the beginning, but I felt like it's weird since you have like the Brave engine. You have to activate Pot of Desires in the end of your combo, that you don't like banish any combo pieces, and then you can like draw like your power spells, which is the best thing to happen, or like draw Endanger or Tearlaments card, and then the combo you did before the pot is like weird because maybe you already did stuff, so your Danger or Tearlament that you draw off pot isn't doing a lot anymore. So, and like I didn't really want to add more cards, but pot is of course you can play it, but I don't like it to use it in the end phase since you don't can draw like many cards that do something by themselves and by their own. It's always like a card combination. So I didn't play pot for this event.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. And onto the side deck. Yeah, you can just go over your side deck and tell us why you made the specific side deck choices.
I mean, I played Tree Lava Golem, so this is a board breaker against like the Mirror Match or Light, for example. I also considered to play Ultimates like over Lava Golem since you have your Llama Summon left. But Lava Golem is. So I don't know what I want to do in the future, but for this event I played Lava Golem. It's also cool sometimes if you have or Lava Golem to opponent, you just like trigger Halfness in their Stamper phase on the damage effect of Lava Golem. But maybe people can play around it. It depends on their hands, but yeah, most people play more around Sphere mode. Like Sply players always end on Elf and Toad, so I can't Sphere mode, but Lava Golem is crazy, but Artemis Slayer do the same. But you don't waste your normal summon and you also have something against like Exorcister or Rogue. I played Twin Twister over, for example, Lightning Storm, since it's better to draw after your dangers, and you can discard dangers like Bigfoot or Thunderbird or Nessie. Galaxy Cyclone as my mine out, and evenly something. It's not that good with dangers, but this card has so much impact against Rogue, and in the mirror match, where because the most people played like the danger Tearlament that don't summon any Omni negates, so evenly always came clutch. And if you draw it off dangers, you can like go dark, crush the dark, add something, and evenly them. So it's not that if you draw it after using dangers. And it also like you don't have so much cards against back row, and this was like another big reason why I played it. Yeah, the virus, like I don't have to say anything. This card is unfair. It's good against Splight. It's auto win. Against Exorcista, against Flunder, the main problems of the deck. And you can just like, if you need it, set it with Couriers and send it with Couriers and set it with Griffin. Yeah, and Gizmic is another reason because that's why I played Gizmic too, because it's like better with Virus. You can just summon Gizmic in Stamper Phase, use Virus, play around talents. Yeah, D Barrier was my like card to side in the mirror match going first for like the Dark Rulers. I always side in one Galaxy and two Barriers. The Galaxy Cyclone because people played like two field spare terraforming and the mine, where I don't lose the mine, and barriers like just good, yeah. But you can also fight other cards like I don't know. There's so much a pointer or something, but I think like Barry has more impact in the mirror match. And yeah, just the Griffin for the first turn combo with the virus or barrier. Or sometimes you can also set your select if you mold it or super poly or something. And yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the barrier made a lot of sense to play. I think it just covers a lot of matchups. I also played it in my deck. It was really, really good. But yeah, Jack, again, thank you and congratulations on your top 128 results. And for the end, do you have any shoutouts that you want to say, or do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, my losses was like I went X 3-1, so 3 losses, 1 draw. I lost 2 times against Cowboy in time, which wasn't really like not fair, but my opponent stalled, or I mainly lose to the judges because they didn't realize what my opponent did, which is unfortunate. I lost 1 time to Exorcista with like they made I went first. They made like impermanence on my Griffin, even lead me, so I keep the token. Then they had like Crow for my Shaylin, which I detached for redrawer and made like Mata 2 times, 2 games. So I couldn't win this. But I played against like Eldlich. I played against Morrow. I didn't lost to Splight. And yeah, in Top Cut, I just lost to Flanderies. He went first, do his stuff with Statue and the trap, so I couldn't do anything. But yeah, the deck went really good overall. Maybe like few small changes, which I mentioned. And yeah, so I would play this deck definitely again on the event. And yeah, so shout outs to my team, Frozen Cards. Thanks for the support. Thanks for all the stuff. Thanks for the people playtesting with me. Then thanks to all my friends in Berlin which playtest with me, and everyone who lent me cards for the event.
All right, thank you guys for watching, and we hope to see you again in the next deck profile. Take care. Bye bye.